their logo says for the people in it. It's just, what a joke. That is, the irony is crazy. Hey guys, Skittlerampage here. Welcome back to a new video. I do hope you're enjoying your day today. So what a day it was for Dragon Ball Z fans with the Super Saiyan Goku LE 1200 piece Funko Pop drop. So today we're going to be going over what happened with the drop and some crazy things and new things that they added during the stream. Now before we get started, let's ask the question of the day, and it's going to be a little bit on target here with the LE theme, and that is, do you own any limited edition Funko Pops? And I'm gonna go with this 1,000-piece Jolly Jacko. Also, when I say limited edition, I specifically mean like numbered pieces. Okay, so to give you a quick summary for anybody who's confused as to what we're even talking about today, basically there was a brand new Dragon Ball Z Goku LE 1,200-piece pop here. Again, limited to 1,200 pieces worldwide. And the company even actually ended up with this exclusive, and after the whole Chalice drop with Frieren and Naruto, people were a little uneasy with Whatnot and just LE pieces with shared retailers. So when Even announced the fact that they were dropping their super limited Goku on Whatnot, a lot of people were very upset, especially with how they were doing it, because they stated that they were going to be dropping them randomly through an 8-hour stream throughout the day over the course of a week. And not only that, just 2-3 days ago, we actually learned that they held back 200 of the Goku stock for their Diamond tier members. And what that means is basically Whatnot has like a rewards program that you can set up, and Diamond is as high as you can go in Even stream, but you most likely have to spend a lot of money to get to that tier. Okay, so now that you're caught up on all of the drama that led up to the drop, now let's talk about the drop itself that happened yesterday. Okay, so like I said before, the idea here with Even's original response put out is that they were gonna drop Goku at MSRP, which was $40 randomly throughout the stream. And while they did actually do that, here's some proof, they did do that, they do exactly what they're gonna say at $40. Now though, let's backtrack a little bit before they did these MSRP drops at the beginning of the stream. So essentially, they actually set up a whole like ticket game that is a game over on Whatnot, and also, keep in mind that this is not on Whatnot specifically. This is specifically how Even chose to do their drop. Whatnot has no control over their specific exclusive, so the blame here is on Even. And of course, Funko for greenlighting this and allowing this to be done this way. So here's where things got kind of interesting at the beginning of the stream. So essentially, they tried to start their whole ticket game, and it got bid up to like $66,000. People were just troll bidding because a lot of people were upset or they weren't taking the stream serious and all that. And it is what it is. It was bound to happen with how they were doing this. And with 6,000 people in there, of course, you're gonna have your, random trolls bidding it up and all that. Now, personally, I don't really think it was necessary to troll them, but I can understand how people would feel in this situation. But I won't lie, it was very funny to see. I was actually like giggling in the theater that I was in, because while this was going down, I was actually seeing a movie with my wife, and I was like looking at the stream just laughing in the theater. I was trying not to annoy the people next to me because it was just so crazy. The fact that it went up to 66,000. Of course it didn't actually go through, but the fact that it went that high was just insane. So let me go ahead and show you a couple screenshots I took at the beginning of this stream, or at least like 15-20 minutes in. So go ahead and check out this first one. As you can see, it says Surprise Set 1 Funko Pop Disney The Nightmare Before Christmas Mayor. Someone paid $47 for that. That's just kind of them trying to get rid of their overstock. And that's all that is, because I can go through a million screenshots here. Next one, Boruto Inojin. I mean, that pop sells for like $8, $51. Again, you get the chance at that. Next one here, Marvel Studios Multiverse of Madness Doctor Strange, $47. I can just show you screenshots all day of this. Now don't worry guys, it actually gets worse, because not only are you bidding on a random pop hoping you get that ticket chance for Goku, Sharon from Little Miss Chase, she kind of put a collage together here of some of the payments that happen. And more notably in the middle there, you had a Whitney Houston pop someone paid $600 for rather than getting the Goku. And then you also had the Ramonda from Black Panther at $660. So as you can see, people went pretty crazy in the stream going after these Gokus, and even knew exactly what they were doing with this. At the end of the day, it is of course up to the specific person on how much they want to bid or how much people are bidding on Whatnot. That's not on Whatnot. They're sliding that button of their own free will. My issue with it is that why were any of these Gokus in this ticket game? When you specifically stated that you were going to be dropping them at MSRP throughout the streams, throughout the week. So that was kind of one of those like situations where they held back even more stock for these games so they could sell their overstock and you get a chance at the Goku. It's not even guaranteed when you're bidding here. And that's just pretty crazy. And I'm not kidding, guys. Let's look at their original post when they announced Goku of how this Whatnot drop was gonna go. The only thing that really gives them some leeway of like, oh, well, we never said we weren't gonna do that, is that they said MSRP drops, giveaways, reward program unlocks, and more. So we know what the reward program unlock was. They held back the 200 Gokus. But I guess and more is meaning they'll throw it in a game and give you a chance at it, essentially. Like, that's just like, you see what they're doing here. They're like creating little loopholes, and it's just silly. They should not have done it that way. So that was one of the bigger problems I had with how they actually dropped Goku, because nowhere did they state it was gonna be like in a game like this to just sell some commons to you. Like, essentially, it's smart as a business to utilize an exclusive you have to, you know, gain more customers or, you know, get people in your stream and all that. But the way they did it like that is the reason quite literally thousands of people are upset. Now, to make matters even worse, they pretty much sold as much as I expected them to in terms of the Goku, given they plan to take this and use it as much as they can over the course of this month probably. But someone did comment and say they sold 14 for the buy it now, gave away about 5, and then sold like 15 in their spinning game. So let's say they sold and gave away about 30 to 35 Gokus in like 8 hours. That's insane. And half of those Gokus were locked behind a ticket wall game. Versus, again, them highlighting in their own posts and making it a big deal that, oh, we're gonna be dropping these at MSRP.
Are you sure about that?
Now, something else I would like to highlight here is that they were banning a lot of people. Now, rightfully so, some people were just trolling, they were saying outlandish things, they were saying really hateful comments and all that, so I get that. But there were also a lot of people just talking about Even or how they felt about the drop, and they were a little more neutral, and Even was still banning them. Like, banning them from chatting, banning them from the stream. And when you just ban everybody regardless of what they're saying, that just doesn't make you look good as a company. That just shows you can't take criticism and you're just trying to block everybody out. I get it, there's a lot of people in there, and some people definitely deserve to be banned with what they were saying, some crazy stuff. I could not even repeat it because YouTube would not allow me to. But the people who are commenting on your business saying that you have bad business practices and all that, that's like the equivalent to hiding a bad Google review, you know? It's just not a good look overall, and I don't think they should have been banning as many people as they did just because people have an opinion in the chat. Now, I am actually not the only one who was talking about this. You also had some of the other like really big news accounts like Diz Trackers or Funko Finders, for example, where they actually took to Twitter with their frustrations about this and kind of like sharing in people's frustrations. So Finder said, no surprise here, Even lived up to its reputation. The Whatnot stream for the LE 1200 Goku Funko Pop was a disaster from the jump. Production was sloppy, inventory planning a mess, and instead of a clean release, the pop was buried inside a so-called mystery surprise set. Collectors were forced to bid just for a chance at a ticket. Again, that's something I also have an issue with how they did it, because they never indicated that this was gonna happen like this. They really made everybody believe that they were just gonna be live for 8 hours and drop it randomly throughout the show, which sucked, but at least we thought they were doing it that way versus the way they ended up doing it. Troll bids quickly derailed the auctions, with one skyrocketing past 60K, and the team's clueless response was to restart the stream, wiping out everything that had happened. After the reset, they dropped only 5 Gokus at MSRP, promising more over the course of an 8-hour marathon. Practices like these not only further damage Even's already tarnished reputation, but also create a negative impression for the first-time customers who might have otherwise become loyal patrons of Whatnot and Funko. Hopefully someone at the latter two companies see this and take action immediately. I actually really agree with this response, and I think it's a fair response of the situation, especially when you look at it. Again, Even left out a lot of details of how they were gonna do certain things, and it was just a mess from the jump. A lot of people are upset about this drop. On the plus side though, is it makes Chalice look amazing with their drop. Like, it makes them look so good. But something I wanted to highlight specifically that Finders put in their post was the end thing there saying, but also created a negative impression for first-time customers who might have otherwise become loyal patrons of Whatnot and Funko. Wholeheartedly agree with that. Because the same thing happened to Chalice's drop, where it just left a bad taste in everyone's mouth with the brand Whatnot, Funko, Chalice, and then now Even. Thousands of people, quite literally thousands of people, have a bad taste in their mouth for your company. Because at the end of the day, again, Funko only encouraged them technically to do something special with their exclusives, similar to how Chalice did it, and seemingly encouraging other small companies who do get Ellie pieces to do something special, signings and all that. Whatnot is just a platform they happen to use. Whatnot's not at fault here. They can't really help how this company is going to release their exclusive. So I would say really look at the situation and all the facts and don't really blame Whatnot here for this issue. I would mostly blame Funko for forcing the fact that they need to do something special with their exclusive, as well as how Even did handle this whole drop. From the jump, I knew this was just going to make them look even more bad than they already do. Even just butchered this drop. They shouldn't have done it the way they did. And it just shows you what kind of company they are. They are money first versus their community, even though their logo says for the people in it. It's just, what a joke. That is... The irony is crazy. But yeah, guys, that was basically the situation at hand. We do actually have several other streams happening this week with Even. So if you didn't get Goku yesterday, you do have multiple other chances. But again, it's a random drop through like a 5 to 8 hour stream, you know. It's up to you if you want to spend your time in the stream. I don't think wasting people's time like that is the appropriate thing to do. And again, it's going to leave a bad taste in their mouth and they're not going to want to come back as customers. I don't understand this approach this way. But like I said, that pretty much catches you up on the drop, or at least the major things. If anybody else had an issue with this drop or something that I might have missed that I didn't highlight in this video, drop a comment down below, let us know. And of course, let me know how you guys feel about this drop and how it was handled. And do you think smaller retailers should get Ellie exclusives? I think smaller retailers can get Ellie exclusives, but I just think it should just be dropped on the website. We should not have to jump through all of these hoops like on Even stream and spend 8 hours of our time potentially for a chance at it. It's not even guaranteed, and they're only dropping like maybe 40 to 50 for that day. Those are really, really slim odds with thousands of people in the stream. Funko really needs to look at how these previous drops did happen and take a different approach, because it's just making them look worse. It's making people want to quit the hobby. And now granted, something I did want to highlight here is that I wouldn't say quit the hobby just because you didn't get an exclusive or you didn't get a specific pop. Happens to me all the time, happens to plenty of other people all the time. I just say move on. Eventually Funko will make something similar or make a different variation of that same pop. You know they do. It is something they are really known for. If I don't get it, I'm not gonna quit collecting over it. Am I gonna be bothered or peeved a little bit? Yes, but I think we should just move on from it if we don't get it. That's pretty much all my thoughts I have on the situation. Just some last minute words here. Even, Funko, do better, because that was a mess and it makes you look bad. It makes you look really, really bad. Should not have done it this way. You know better. You know what you were doing. You know you were trying to just make more money off people and how much they want their exclusive. And while that makes sense from a business standpoint, doesn't make sense to get thousands of customers angry at you to leave bad reviews. Logically, it made no sense how you did this. You should have just dropped them at MSRP or dropped them on your website. Sorry, but that's just the hard truth. All right, guys, I'm gonna actually end the video here. I had a lot of people asking me if I was gonna talk about this, and I just wanted to give my 2 cents on the situation. Thank you so much for watching this video today, though, guys. Leave your comments down below of your thoughts and opinions on this whole situation, and make sure to leave a like if you did enjoy. I do wanna say a big shout out to all the awesome Patreon supporters of the channel. You guys are amazing for supporting myself and the channel. If you guys are interested and wanna check out the Patreon, the link is down below. We have a Patreon Discord where we share a lot of information, news, restocks, updates, links, and more. And finally, make sure to follow me on all my social medias at Skittlerampage over on Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, and my Facebook page, so you can stay up to date. All right, love you guys. See you guys in the next one. See you guys later. Bye.